Merch alert.
That's right, you heard her. We have merch now. If you're looking for a mug, a hoodie, a shirt, a blanket, we're your people. Be sure to check out our exclusive I Was a Bravo Fan Before Scandal tees. They will be perfect to wear while watching the VPR reunion.
Check out the link in the description of the podcast or our Instagram bio. Hello, hello, hello.
Hey y'all, what's going on? We are back with another episode of Bravo. We're Black. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Aaron.
We're both
Who's the
Aaron.
real Aaron, guys?
Oh my gosh. I'm literally bearing Nicole Clown. Just kidding, guys.
I'm Kaya, guys. Today I am Kaya. And guess what? Aaron finally was a man of his word. And
I told
he's
y'all.
completely caught up on the boys, which I'm so excited about. That I think we're gonna have to save that for the end of the podcast, because I know that I'm going to have a billion questions, because last week you had very specific point of views on everyone. And this week, especially after this last episode, I just want to know your point of view on everyone. But first, of course, we got to do our Black excellence. And I have mine, which I'll go first. It's going to be 50 Cent. And I know he's definitely, a controversial figure, but I just think that it's crazy. Like it's so cool to see his evolution, because I remember growing up, it was a rapper, and then I'm kind of seeing, I saw him progress as like an actor. Now he's a businessman, and we already knew that he bought one studio to start kind of like filming in or whatever, but he just purchased another building. And he also, in his production company, he's doing like these little like side shows, like these reality documentaries. And he has a new one called like TikTok Murders or something. And I think it's on Peacock. So he's really expanding. He bought a new building. He's doing the side show here. He's a menace on Instagram. So very interesting follow. And obviously Power is on. And Power, I have this theory, Aaron, every time I always say, episode 3 is always when things ramp up. When it's, whether it's like an 8-episode season or a 10-episode season, it's around episodes 3. And then also episode 8 is like where the most important things of the season happen. And we saw this with Power, which we will probably get into first. So shout out to 50 Cent for, building his own brand. And I hope that he's about to be as big as Tyler Perry. And love him. And I can't just keep getting on here every week and giving it to Will Smith, but I just love that man. That's my father, y'all. That's my father. But who is your Black excellence?
So mine is going to go to Tia Kemp, because the way she's been dogging Charleston White out on the internet, on the Instagram, on the live, after he called her a bad mom.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, didn't he start with her?
He did. He absolutely did. He inserted himself in something that had nothing to do with him, and he got his ass read. He got his rights read to him all last night, all yesterday morning, all yesterday afternoon, in the middle of the night.
Good.
All
Don't
of that.
ever let up.
Tia Kemp takes it to hell. That's the thing. It's past it.
Good.
Past it. The fact that she posted his kids and his whole family in the mug shots all on Instagram, like with details, like she was keeping like she was a fucking Frogger, keeping files on that.
You know what? He deserves every part of it, because not only did he go after Tia Kemp for apparently no reason. Well, his reasoning was that she dogs out Rick Ross, so she's, a bad mom for doing that to her son and doing that to Rick Ross, because she's the one who picked him, the baby daddy, all this shit. But he also dragged it as far as to say that that's why he didn't choose a Black woman to be the mother of his kids. And I'm like, No Black woman that I know would ever want to be your baby's mother.
Mhm.
I actually would rather die. If it was my job to repopulate the earth, and I had to, it was me and Charleston White on Earth, the human race would just go
It would
extinct.
just be done. He's a horrible person. A horrible,
Terrible,
a horrible
a
man.
thug, a criminal, a snitch, ugly, like funky, a bitch, like every terrible thing you could think of, that is Charleston White.
I can agree
So
with that. I can definitely agree with that. Did I have another one?
it's the way that Tia Kemp just cusses so well.
Yeah, she does. Mine is also gonna go out to Housewives of Atlanta, y'all, because news just broke that Kenya Moore is not coming back. Like she's done. She's done.
Did you expect this?
No. I honestly just thought that she would be suspended for a while and that was gonna be that. But the fact that she's done, the done.
The
It's
sun done.
Yeah, it's a wrap. It's over, guys. But my Black excellence is actually gonna go to the rest of the ladies because they're gonna have to do a fuck of a job to give a good season and to provide, well, I'm not gonna say to give a good season, but just to like fill in those spots. They're gonna have to work. They're gonna have to get their ass up and work. And I want to know, Brittany, Edie, are you ready for that?
Right? Because it can't all be Portia.
It can't. Drew, are you ready for that?
Well,
Well,
because Kenya was really taking a load off you bitches in the best way. I'm sorry. Because she is always going, Kenya, even though she has grown, when she gets activated,
yeah.
she gets activated. Whether it's bringing a husband out, whether it's bringing a scepter out, whether it's just dragging you with a real good read. But the thing is, I understand that if she did what she was accused of doing, that's terrible. But also, it's giving y'all a season.
Yeah,
So
it's giving
what's
them a
gonna happen now?
season. But the thing is, it's not giving them a season in a good way. Because now everybody's talking about this lawsuit and it's even more trouble for Bravo because they already have that other shit going on. Like this
Ooh.
is way too much. So now it puts them in a position where they just might cancel the whole damn show and just be like, you know what, fuck all of this anyway, because we really don't want to pay Portia that much like that anyway.
Ooh. I
That's
hate
really
it.
what it is. Because if I was in Bravo's position, I'd be like, cut the bitch off. To be TBH. Cut the whole thing
I would
off.
literally be like, you know what? We're actually going to can that and do Real Housewives of Fulton County.
I would just pull out a bucket. Mics. Can you just bring me your mic? Yeah, just put it in a bucket. No worries. No. It's fine. It's fine. It's really fine. You guys can just go home for the day. And then I would just type up a nice email and I would be like, it's done.
It's actually over with.
Don't
So
even show up. Because and she put them in such a horrible position. If all of that is true, that was something so shitty that you really can't come back from. And a lot of people are comparing it to all these other situations, and they're saying, they had Mariah Huck. And I want to give Mariah Huck Black excellence too, because she's been doing this thing on her live where she really shows out and shows up and shows out. I talked about it on the Patreon, y'all. But she had a few words to say about how production, has a hand in certain things, allegedly. In which I believe that, like, even with the whole Phaedra situation, like, yes, she was grown and she should have, of course, she should be held responsible for her actions. But they do say that production teams to play up and amp these housewives up to do shit, and then once they do it, they don't really think of the repercussions. So that's what we're seeing. That's what I believe we're seeing now. Clearly, a bunch of misguidance and somebody that just shouldn't have did what she did.
I definitely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if we or how we will be able to move forward from this. Because I will say this is breaking news, you guys. So obviously in the following hours or days, some new information will come
Yeah.
out. But this seems to also be coming from Kenya and not from Bravo. Because if you
Yeah.
read the article, it's like it's saying that, a lot of stuff about Kenya, but it's not saying anything about the network really.
Maybe they gave her out just to be like, you say it. You did it. You tell them.
I'm just shocked. I mean, I hope that Kenya is okay. I hope that everyone is okay. I hope that Brittany is okay, because this is also going to cause, if they do go on with production and they do have a show and the show is bad,
Mm-hmm.
we're all going to blame, well, the royal we are all going to blame Brittany, because it's like, okay, well, you got this girl fired. You're new. We don't know you. You fucked up the season.
Well, then again, I don't know though, because it seems like, but that does change over time. I'm not too sure, because I'm seeing a lot of the feedback, and it seems like they're really sympathetic towards Brittany. So we could either see that in play, like they feel sorry for her and they kind of just give her that little bit of room to fuck up and have another season just because of all that went down, all that transpired, in the words of Claude. Um, but yeah, or it could turn around and they could just see how she acts on TV and they could just totally flip it. So y'all know it's not us, because the people love to go back and forth and they love to flip. I do too sometimes, but it's not
Yeah, you
about
do.
me. It's about y'all.
Don't fold your arms. You guys, Aaron is folding his arms, and that never means anything good. Um, it's definitely a sticky situation, and I'm worried. I will just say that I was excited for Atlanta. You know, the whole thing with Simon is nothing compared to this.
It is, but and this is the thing too. I don't really want this. Like, this is just too. It's too nasty, and I'm
Right.
tired of being in mess that we can't really get out of, and that could jeopardize the future of this show that we love so much. That's what I don't like. I don't like when things like this happen to our shows on this network, because it's like we grew up on Housewives of Atlanta. We know Potomac so well. So whenever this stuff happens, it's like they already took away Martha's Vineyard for our ass. We
Right.
know we can't take no.
We
Like,
have nothing. And
please.
this is like, and I hate to say it, but I would rather sacrifice Potomac than Atlanta. Like,
Oh yeah, hands down.
even with almost everyone coming back on Potomac, I would still want Atlanta
Because
instead.
honestly, it's like I could just look at Mia's story. That's gonna be the season of Potomac anyway. It's like what that's really it. Because who else is giving me something that I care about? And no offense to any other, I love Ashley now, but I feel like a lot of their chapters are closed. A lot of them can take a season off, or two, or three, or four. So that's that. I know this isn't the Bravo episode, guys, but
No, but we
I
have to
just
cover this.
we have to.
This is home. Especially when things like this happen, it just falls so heavily on the black shows more
Mm-hmm.
than the white shows. Because right now we just saw a bitch slap a bitch in the face on Jersey and nothing really is happening.
And that, ooh, not Jennifer Aiden. That
So I mean, it's kind of weird. It's weird. People get away with a lot. So I don't know. We'll just see how things
they
like
could
pan
have
out, of
killed
course.
her. That kind of remind me of, you remember when Miss Juicy got busted in the damn head with a
Yes.
fucking margarita glass?
Yes. You were so
What
worried.
type of
I was
shit
also
is
worried.
that? Yes. And you just heard her scream. I'm like, Juicy, like, is she
You okay?
okay?
Like we wanted to call 911.
I literally was, because that was just too much for me. Like, do not do that. So they're
Well,
acting
I'll tell
real
you
ghetto.
my
That's real
thoughts
ghetto.
on Barry. It's the ghettoest thing that I've seen on
That's a
this
hood.
year.
That's
It's like
hood
I
type
watched
shit.
Baddies, and Baddies wasn't that intense this week.
I was like,
Baddies wasn't that into
because you
this
remember
week.
when I said OC was going to the Greens for their vacation? I feel like Jersey went to the Greens for their vacation because
For
this
real,
is
for
like
real.
horrible.
But pork and beans, like it is absolutely, and we'll have even more to say on Saturday. So,
Ugh.
but if you're listening to this and it's early in the day on Wednesday, come and join us on Instagram Live later on.
Yes.
We're going to be having fun. Tell them about it.
So we're gonna be having fun, y'all. It's going to be 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Let me get that right. And it's gonna be on Instagram Live. Kia's gonna be on her account. And I'm gonna be on the main account. But we're gonna go live with Cocktails and Culture Pod. And it's gonna
Yes.
be really fun. We're gonna talk about some Bravo things with y'all. It's gonna be a good time. So come by, make sure you have a cocktail. And if you don't drink, bring a water or bring a mocktail, bring some damn apple juice, some shit, and come chat with us and comment and, give your feedback. We love to hear your opinions as well.
Exactly. We can't wait. We love talking to you guys, especially we never really go live like that. So when we do, we want to interact with as many of you guys as possible, especially getting your opinions, because getting your real time opinions is nothing like just getting your DM opinions. We love DMs, we love emails, we love when you leave the answers
But
in
y'all
Spotify.
literally in front of
But
us.
live comments are the best because you guys are so freaking funny and also notice things that I don't. So it's going to be fun.
And that you do. I feel like we might have to add this to the list too because a lot is
Of
going on.
course.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay. So let's get into Power. Power is finally picking up, you guys, episode 3. And the ending was really where it's at. But Aaron's going to take us through the episode.
Yeah. So, y'all, it starts off with Detective Carter, fine ass, questioning Obi. Obi done got took to the station because they already know that he been fucking around with them green cars and that he had one for his brother. So he's really holding that over Obi's head. But Obi's not really saying anything. He's not saying anything at all because he knows his elbows and kneecaps will get chopped off if it gets back to Noma. So he does what he knows to do, and he calls his brother's apartment to try to get some form of help. Maybe have his brother reach out to like somebody to help him. And Drew Tahana ends up being there. So Drew answers the phone and he's like, what's going on? Let me see if I can help. So Drew tries to come to the station to get Obi. They tell his ass no. And he actually ends up getting that new lawyer. That's under what is Method Man's name? That's under Method Man's character. Because I can never forget remember
Just
his
call him
name.
Method Man.
Yeah, just call him Method Man. But the new lawyer that's up under Method Man. So that works. Obi ends up getting out and, he's released. So boom. They go back to the garage or wherever the hell Noma lives. I really don't know if that's a garage or a townhome. It goes back and forth. But no, Noma ends up killing Obi due to betrayal. She feels betrayed. She feels like he's hiding a lot from her. And honestly, I really didn't think that was called for. I thought that was kind of weird, actually.
I didn't think that she would dispose of him so quickly because he's done so much to her. But at the
Right.
same time, she wants to kill Tariq and she can't kill Tariq. And he's the one who told her, listen, ease up on Tariq. And it's not just because, Tariq could possibly have ended her that day. It's also because Obi used Tariq to get his brother a green card.
Yeah.
So she kind of feels betrayed. And at the same time, she can't take it out on Tariq. So she's like, I can't trust nobody. Boom.
Yeah, but I was like, damn, because that was an important member of your team. And I
Right.
think when you dispose of people like that, it's gonna be hard because you're gonna need them and you're not gonna have nobody and they're gonna blast your ass, especially those Russians. That's the thing about it. That's the thing that she really needs to be worried about. So that's that. While this is going on, Tariq and Braden find a new connect and they go to a fight club and they end up finding this one guy. And he's kind of sketchy. I honestly don't want them to work with him because I just didn't like that whole interaction. I was like, this is really extra.
Yeah, I didn't like the dramatics, but I liked that he kind of did call, and I hate to fuel the conspiracy theorists, but he did say, "Oh, I'm your daddy. You pretty much here because of your dad's ghost."
Mm-hmm.
And I know that some people think that Ghost is coming back,
I do.
so
It's just the
so
only
that's a
thing
part
that
of
makes
it.
sense. It's just the only thing that makes sense. So I did like hearing that part. I was like,
Hmm.
hmm, interesting.
Noted.
How's this gonna go? So while they're doing that, Kane decides that he wants to fuck on Noma a little bit. I really didn't see that coming. Effie did apparently, because she was like,
I did not. I saw. Okay,
yeah.
I had to watch it 2 times. Obviously, enjoyment, and then the time to talk about it. The second go around, I saw the moment that Kane and Noma had before, where she was basically like, "You can't pretty much like tell me what to do or whatever."
Mm.
They got real close, and I'm like, "Are they gonna kiss?" They didn't kiss, and then that's when Effie walked in, and then she peeped that they were kind of close. But I did not think they were gonna like straight up get it
Yeah,
on.
it was really weird though, because I was like, I didn't think that. I thought that if anything, they would save that for later, once
Right.
Kane was done with Effie. Like I thought it was gonna like something was gonna happen, and then he would be like, you know what, man, screw this, and he would go over to Noma. But it kind of makes me think that Kane is now gonna be the new Obi.
That's exactly why he's
Yeah,
doing it. Like it was a tactical,
but that might
move.
not work out for him like how he thinks.
Because if she just killed her number one like that,
Right, and
what do you think
look
that
at
she's
all
going to
he's
do to you?
done. Look at all he's done for her. You haven't even been doing shit for her, really. So that's not gonna go too good. And honestly, the way I see it, Monet needs to take out Noma. That's going to be the point that it's going to get to, because Kane is riding for Monet like Obi rode for Noma, and that's
That's
the
his
thing.
mama.
Yeah, I get it, but it's like it's also you can tell they also have that business relationship as well, to the point where I kind of feel like Kane Monet is like one of his clients in a sense. Like, yeah, this is
Well,
mama,
yeah,
but yeah,
he wants to be like, well, he is her number two, but you can tell that
yeah.
she kind of favors Drew and Diana more when it comes to like the child point of view. Like these are my she views Drew and Diana as her kids, where she views Kane like, yeah, that's my son, but he's more in the streets, so I don't
Mm-hmm.
mind really like sacrificing him, because we saw how she treated him in the past seasons. Like she'll kick him out.
It makes
She'll
me
kind of
think
like,
though. Do you think that Monet is Kane's real mom?
you know what? I was thinking like maybe it's because she's not his real mom, but then it's confusing because I'm like, then why would you give your first son away, raise him as your
Yeah.
nephew, only to take in someone else? Oh, that's what I wanted to say before I forget that I didn't say last week. The casting for young Monet Tahara,
Is perfect,
I think that
flawless.
like that has to be them aging her back, because her
Looks
from
just
everything.
like Mary. Yeah, she looks just like a young Mary J. Blige. That's how I would imagine her looking. Not Mary J. Blige, but Monet Tejada.
Both to me, yeah.
You
Yeah.
never both to you. I think if she got a mushroom, then I would be like, okay, I
Kind of
see
had,
it.
the half mushroom,
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah, she
She was
did, but
giving it.
they did really good, even with the kids. Drew was a little, but Diana, I was like, okay, I can kind of see that as well. So I do like when they go back, and I actually wish if they did a spinoff, it would be about them younger.
Yeah, I really love that.
Because I would love to see like a young Tommy, a young Ghost, a young Monet. Like if they could tie all of that together somehow.
I mean, they are doing origins. I think that it would be very smart for them to put those people in the game. I don't
Yeah.
think that Monet may have worked with Ghosts, but they can tell two stories at one time.
Yeah. Untold stories. Maybe they did. And she's like, all right, y'all, I've been keeping it a secret. It's like they love to do that shit anyway. I would love to see them do it because it's like it's no sense of having multiple shows.
Yeah.
Just put them all on one show.
And it's also like, why do you like Tariq so much? Because he's a. I understand that, like me personally, he's a killer. He does what it. But she's seen many people like that. She's come across many people who are solid, people who are killers, people who move weight. Why do you have a liking of Tariq so much? So
Unless
I feel
that's
like,
she's like
you know,
ghost sister or some shit.
ghost sis. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they can kind of ease that in, that maybe they just didn't
Yeah.
know about each other.
I would like to
Call
see
us.
it. I would
Call
like to
us.
see it.
Stars. Call us. Listen, we're
Please.
gonna raise your price from $3 for 40 months to $4 for 10 months.
$8.
Ooh.
Especially if they still got power on, but I don't know how this gonna go. Um Another thing that happens, and this is the biggest thing, Monet finds out about the scam and the shit that's been going on with Diana, how Diana showed up. Wasn't that Tommy's mama?
Egan's house,
To
even
Tommy
though
Egan's mama's house.
right, right,
With
right,
a
right.
with a red lace front on with a bang, I think a Chinese bang, pretending to be Monet Tejada, knowing that she was Diana Tejada. It just
Why do
does
you have
not
to say their last names every
because it
time? It's
only
so
makes
funny.
sense. It only makes sense.
You know, you never say Drew or Kane Thada.
I said Drew earlier on this
Oh yeah, you
episode.
did say Drew. When you go on it,
Kane,
okay, but you never say Kane Dada.
no, because I just don't. I don't view Kane as a Tejada. Mm, that don't. I just don't think. I don't think that's his. I don't think that's his son. I don't know
I
who.
still feel like they killed Lorenzo too early. Like, there's no way you can build someone up to
They
be a
killed a
big
lot of people
bad.
too early. I think Zeke could have also did some good being on still, but that's
What,
just me.
what could he have done? Because he was. I would love
I
to
think
know, where would you take Zeke's character?
I think that Zeke could have been more of a rock to Noma, just like being in the house. Because I think he was
Mm.
more domesticated anyway. He wasn't really into like the whole
So
gang thing.
he could have literally, not Lorenzo, but the other dude that was on there, his real dad. He could have kind
Mm,
of switched to his side. Noma could have came over and he could have worked with his dad and Noma to work
yeah,
against Monet Tana.
that would have been really good. But either way I see it, Zeke would have got killed at some point.
Yeah, because he's just done.
Yeah. It's like he would have just got blasted for no reason. But they did find out. So Monet's like, what the fuck is this? And she gets up and she tossed the shit off the table. She is pissed. You know, they get up, they hauled ass because Kane was trying to kill him. And
And it's a hard place to
I
be
feel
in.
bad for Diana though, because it's like I know she's with child.
Fuck her and her baby, because I don't want her to have a baby
She's
with
like, I'm
Tariq.
with child.
And that was gonna save her. Like in the previews, I think that Tariq is gonna go after her, and she's
She
gonna be
should
like,
have
"I'm
told her
pregnant,"
earlier. I would have told her at that table. I'd have been like,
because
wait,
you know
because I'm
what,
pregnant.
you know what. And what was funny is that I saw them at the table, and then someone in the power groups were like, "They're gonna have another table episode." Nothing good happens at the
At that
Diana
damn,
table.
or just the table in general. I think for all 50 Cent shows, because we've seen it on BMF,
Yep,
nothing good happens at the table. Ever.
ever.
Ever. So that's it, guys. I don't know what's gonna happen with Drew and Diana Tahana. They're on the run right now. I don't know what's gonna happen to baby Tahana. It's like they're gonna have to figure some shit out.
What do you think about not Braden's? Well, Braden figured out another thing that happened was Braden figured out a way that they can sell and go undetected by kind of trying to like put this group on and do group events. This girl's a singer or whatever. He's being taken with her. And then his sister is also getting kicked out of the school or some shit like that.
I thought
But
that was a lot. That was honestly a lot for me. Like, your sister's a
yeah,
fucking crackhead, and now this lady that's singing, she can't really sing that good either. That's another thing. It's like, I hope she's just not gonna be singing all the time, because I don't want that. Like, I
just
really,
because they have brown skin Keisha
the
already on
first
there.
the first time I was like, okay, you got it. But the second time I was like, no. Let's not make this a thing, because I don't want to hear it. I know they're trying to do this thing where it's like they boost up and coming black, and that's great. But it's like, this isn't one of those situations where we got what's her name from Raising Canyon? Raising Canyon?
Oh, the sister.
Yeah,
Jukebox.
Jukebox. You know, Jukebox can sing, so it's
So
like, it's not
Jukebox can
nothing.
actually sing.
Yeah,
So
it's not
it's
nothing.
pleasing to the ears, and it's all the song that they wrote for Jukebox is something that you can actually like bop to. And arguably, Streets Need a Body is one of the
Yeah.
best, show songs ever. If we're talking about
But this new
Raising
girl, she
Kanan, but
sounds like the
this.
Kalani album.
Oh
Mm.
my god!
I don't know what y'all do with that, but do as you will with that.
I don't know. I'm looking at Normani sales too. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what's going on with Braden. And then with Tariq, okay, do you think that Kane kind of went into Noma's house and, basically laid it down on Noma, in addition to the fact that, obviously she just put her number two down, but also because he thinks that Effie and Tariq are working together because of the whole drug situation.
I don't think that he thinks that anymore, though, because of how Effie looked out for him. I think he really paid attention to the fact that she skipped her big interview just to, you know, do the whole thing with him and the Russians. So I think that kind of proved her loyalty. I think right now this is just, he's looking at in game
The bigger picture.
than the bigger picture. I think this is going to help them out in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing is, I don't think he's really looking at how this might play out for himself. Because I'm like,
Right.
this lady is crazy as hell.
Monet might have to save him. Monet Tara. And she can barely walk. I love that she
She
gave,
she keep falling out.
her cousin sister jacket. I love that. I love when they were like in the bar scene or whatever, and she also told her that she thought that she caught Diana in a lie, and how they called back into like when Diana fidgets, that's how you know that she's lying.
She
I
sure
love so
did.
many details about this episode. And I wanted to say the last thought that I have about Power is that I like that new character Pinky. The one I don't know if they are non-binary, but Pinky's the one who
Oh yes,
is looking
yes,
out,
yes.
who sent the video of Diana Tejada cosplaying
Yeah.
as Monet Tejada, and on top of that, Pinky was able to set them up to sell their cars so they could get back in the game, and just like that,
And just like
Tariq was
that,
back in the drug game.
do you think that they should bring Carrie Bradshaw into Power?
No, stop. Don't piss me off. They're
Okay.
filming and just like that right now. So how about this? How about you choose? Would you rather have season 3 of And Just Like That, or would you rather have her on Power?
And just like that.
Okay, thank you. Next.
Unless,
No, there's no
because you know
unless.
what I'm gonna say. Unless
There's
fucking
no.
Big comes back as like,
There's no way.
okay. And
He
he's
could
like,
be a
actually,
benefactor.
I'm the Russian lead.
Listen, 50
Actually,
Cent
I
would
run
take
this
anyone.
whole shit.
This has been my operation all along.
Nelma's my daughter.
Yes, biological.
Could you imagine if Nelma is Carrie and Big's daughter? That would
That would
be
be a gag. I don't know, that kind of eats. Like
I'm just
their daughter
saying.
that they sent to fucking London because she didn't want to be a mom at like
Mm-hmm.
14, and she just turned out to be a fucking drug dealer.
Carrie would be like,
important.
"You're not doing this." But anyway, it's getting silly now, guys.
Ignorance.
What is happening on Bridgerton? Not Bridgerton. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did a whole episode
I'm
about that,
looking.
but it's pretty good. It's
What
I'll
is
talk about it
happening
again.
on House of Dragon?
House of the Dragon. Hashtag them thrones. Hashtag dragons, y'all. If you guys ever want a black perspective on people's opinion about House of the Dragon, type in dragons, y'all, or them thrones. And that's gonna take you to the black perspective of House of the Dragon. That shit is so good. It's so good. You don't have to watch Game of Thrones because guess what? These are events that happened before Game of Thrones even occurred. Years and years and years and years and years before. The first episode came out last Sunday, and it was a son. It was called A Son for a Son. The way they set that bitch off, because as you guys know, Team Green and Team Black, which is Rhaenyra and Alicent's side. So it's the Targaryens versus the Hightowers. One of the Hightowers' sons accidentally killed his cousin or his nephew. It's so much incest going on. He killed a family member on the fucking dragon. He didn't mean to, but he's not really sorry about it either. Rhaenyra found out. We pick up as Rhaenyra finds her son's like carcass and a part of the dragon too. And she says 4 words on the premiere. She says, she's like, I want Aegon, Targaryen or whatever the fuck his name is. Bring me Aegon Targaryen, which means she just wanted him dead. Her husband, who's a scheming, plotting, Damon, who's also on like that on Morbius. You guys, if you don't know Matt, he's on Morbius. He plays the friend actually, but he's very different. I view him differently on House of the Dragon. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so he plans like a plot of his own. He's like, okay, well, my wife wants to kill what's his face for killing Lucerys. So he goes and he hires 2 guys to go in the castle to kill the freaking dude, and like they kill the king's son instead, but it still counts as a son. So it's called like a son for a son. You took my son, I'm gonna take your son. But Rhaenyra didn't know anything about the plan. So we pick up on this episode. Everyone finds out about it. The Team Green is now using it and saying that Rhaenyra set this murder up. And Rhaenyra is like, I didn't do this because I just lost my son. So I would never take away. Is that her sibling? Yeah, like I would never take away my nephew or my niece like that. I wanted the one who killed my son. But she finds out that her husband, Damon, is the one who, ordered the hit, and they did the wrong thing because they killed a child. Like a little child. Gosh. And like we actually, and the thing about House of the Dragon / Game of Thrones, they go all the way there. So we heard them sawing off the head of the baby.
Of the child?
Yeah. And then in the new episode, they have a funeral because they want the whole kingdom to know that Rhaenyra is responsible for it, even though she's not. So they sew the head back on the toddler's fucking body. And they have a funeral procession, and the whole kingdom sees that this little child's head was literally,
and all of this is on TV.
HBO, baby. So they have the funeral, and the queen, she's a little, we call her touched, but she's a seer. So she's a seer, so she kind of speaks in riddles. And like she has to go out. That's her child that got murdered, innocent, and all this stuff. And like, okay, so the king, obviously that was his son that got murdered, and that was the heir to the throne as of right now. So he wants to get that shit back in blood. He's mad. In the meantime, like his mom is trying to like calm him down. He ends up firing the hand of the king, which is also his grandfather. And It's going down like them thrones, y'all. Them thrones. Right now, Rhaenyra does not trust Daemon because she's like, I said that I wanted someone specific, and you had, even though you didn't do it directly, you had someone kill on my behalf, and they killed a child. So now I look like I don't have any claim to the throne, and on top of that, I'm a child killer.
Ooh.
It's just so good. It's so good. I knew that something was going to be up in this second episode because it was an 80-minute episode. And anytime they run over an hour, those are some of the best episodes of Game of Thrones in Game of Thrones history. But it has not been, I don't think it's been this long since maybe like the finale, the series finale of the show. So I'm excited. They can never make me hate Rhaenyra. She doesn't trust Daemon, which I ship them so hard because, you know, they have that silver hair and they have that chemistry and they have that tenacity, and I'm team Black all the way. But in the meantime, you know, on the other side, it's like, okay, I understand that this baby did get killed, but the way that the king went about like trying to paint Rhaenyra as a killer is kind of, you know, odd to me because he knows that she wouldn't do that. It's a lot going on. Them thrones, them
A
thrones,
lot
them
going on.
thrones.
That
Yeah, I
sounds
think
like a
you guys
lot.
should definitely tune in. And even if you didn't see Game of Thrones, just go back and watch the first season of House of the Dragon, and it'll be a fun time. But what we are really here to talk about is that Aaron is caught up on the boys fully.
Them boys.
We them boys. Shout out to Wiz Khalifa.
I still want to say that I stand on what I said when it comes to fuck Homelander.
And understandable because he's a terrible person.
I still say what I mean, and I mean what I say.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take him out myself. Um,
Tell
and
me more
then
about like seasons 2
and
and season
I'm gonna
3.
tell you, I'm gonna pull up the cast because I want to get everybody name right.
Like we have
Because I have a lot.
new introductions to new characters. Like we didn't have that Stormfront before that racist bitch. We didn't have
Oh, that's who
like
asked I want to get
I
in.
hated her so
That's
like,
who asked I want
oh
to get in.
my
I
god.
could not stand Stormfront. Period. I could not stand her. I was so glad. I was waiting for them to just kill her off. And what made me really dislike her was the scene where they had Kamiko.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just call her Kimmy. But when they had Kimmy and Kimmy, wasn't that Kimmy's brother
Mm-hmm.
that she killed and she took out? I
Mm-hmm.
felt so bad because I'm like, this is an innocent boy, and they just killed him like it was nothing. It just breaks my heart. And it's like I hate that they start killing some of the people that you really enjoy because I actually wanted him to be a part of the boys. I thought his powers were really cool. I'm like, him and his sister can just kick ass and it would just
They
be
have like
great.
the coolest like powers.
It was great. And I know one of them was gonna lose their life because it's like they never do the whole sibling thing. I also will say that I enjoy the boys a lot more as a team, a lot more without Billy Butcher. Billy Butcher is like the Professor X of the boys. I think that they do so much better without him.
Do
But
you okay? Do you like the boys more now?
yeah,
Because before you're like, they talk too much.
yeah, I like them more now.
Very much
I
like a 7 loyal member. But now, we have the progression of A Train and how he kind of became a piece of shit. But now he's on
yeah.
his redemption arc. I wanted to hear your thoughts on A Train a lot.
I at first it's like he was leaving a nasty taste in my mouth, but I do kind of like the redemption story for him because I honestly didn't want to see that for his character. I'm just like I wanted them to actually give him a storyline because I kind of feel like his storyline is just him wandering around trying to find some shit to do and being told that he's a piece of shit by Homelander. Uh, that's really it. So it's like hopefully he joins the team and he actually works with the boys more because I would like to see them. I would like to see them have how many soups would it be? Would it be 3 soups at
Mm-hmm.
that point with A
Mm-hmm.
Train,
Yeah, Kamiko and Starlander. I mean, not Star. Ooh,
Starlight. Isn't that
Starlight, Starlight, and
not
Homelander.
Starlander, child?
I because I didn't. Okay, continue on your
I
thoughts about the
also
people.
like how Starlight beat the shit out of Firecracker. I thought that was very necessary because she just got out of line. And it's like, that's you nasty heifer. Messing around with a 15-year-old. And it's like
Did
some of the
you not?
things.
Okay, so can we please? Because I've been dying to talk about someone. I mean, talk about this scene with someone from where we are. The fact that I know the Buca de Beppo that they're referencing on the show, it's the one literally by Nova, by Tower Shops.
That's the one that they were talking about?
Remember when they literally said Davie Police Department? I'm like, they're like Davie, Florida at Buca de Beppo. And I'm
What?
like,
You fucking fucker.
like
Nasty.
Broward County, Florida. I'm like, please don't call us out. But that would happen here.
That's the one thing that I don't, I guess, I mean, I like about the show because it goes there and they show you like a realistic depiction of how the world could possibly be if these superheroes were in charge. But it's just crazy to see that people stood with her. Like, you give a good speech and people will like kiss your ass and lick your boots. Just like that. It
But
really
that's
makes you
how
think.
it makes you think because that's what's happening. It's what's happening all around us.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't like this season because they feel like it's too serious and that it mirrors like real life too much. But I'm like, you guys are saying that this is out of control and this doesn't make any sense. Like, who would actually agree? These people are walking around us in real life in Florida and in other states, especially in the South, though, blindly following like these hateful ass
Yeah.
people.
The only thing with this show is it's like I do like the realness of it, but sometimes it is a lot. And I'm like, I just hope people don't get no ideas. Like that's how I feel sometimes. I'm like, because imagine a Homelander. And I
Well,
deal with that.
the only difference between this and real life is that they have superpowers. But these are things like everything that they do is based on something that has already happened.
Mm.
What do you think about Compound V being, revealed as something that was given instead of superheroes being born?
Um, it kind of reminded me of Static Shock because that's
Ooh.
how Static Shock gets his powers. Like you find that out, and it's like they call them bang babies. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's kind of similar to that, and I do like that depiction. And I kind of wish that they would have like a cameo from somebody who is supposed to like represent Static Shock.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that's very interesting.
What did you think about Soldier Boy and how he's Homelander's dad?
I thought that was a little bit weird. I wish they would have made him older. That's my only thing with that. I'm like, why does he look younger? Why do they make the parents look younger than the children?
Well, because he was frozen. He's supposed to be like Captain America.
Because even with Howie,
Huey.
Huey, that's
Huey's
just how I
dad.
feel. Even with
Yeah.
his dad, like laying there, I'm like, he looks so much younger than Huey, and that's a problem. That's a problem. Um, but one thing that I will say about the whole Homelander storyline, that last episode when he went back in the lab, if that was the only shitty thing that he did, I could forgive him because it's like it
Yeah.
was understandable. It
Right.
was kind of one of those situations where he didn't really have a choice and they did all this nasty shit to him. So it kind of gives you insight on why he is the way he is. So I did appreciate it. But while I appreciate it, it still does not mean that you can continue to go around and be a piece of shit.
Yes. Okay, so let's get into these more recent episodes more. I
Mm.
absolutely am obsessed with Sister Sage.
Yes. Love Sister Sage's powers. Love that she's hooking up with what's the Aqualad dude?
Freaking the deep. I did not see that. I did not see that. Like, wasn't that the craziest thing? And you know what else is crazy? I literally put on, not tweeted, but I threaded. I was like, I need a lobotomy and some cereal. Like, I just need a lobotomy. I feel like I need a lobotomy. I need my frontal cortex just completely taken from me. And she literally made the deep give her a fucking lobotomy just so her brain could turn off. And they did anal right after. What do you think about like how graphic the show is? Have you learned that you cannot eat when you're watching this show?
I do eat while I'm watching.
You do?
Mm-hmm. I do. At first, I was like, "Oh, this is a lot," but then after a while, you just like
you're numb to it.
Also, I've been getting like really good shit to eat. I think that's what it is, and I'm like, I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah, I think that has to be it.
Because I had the other day, I had a fucking Colombian breakfast while watching, and I was like, oh my god! I had the pork piece, the steak, the rice, the refried beans, the eggs with the extra cilantro, and the cheesy bread that they give you. Oh,
just made
my
me
goodness!
So hungry.
Best meal ever, which made me really pay attention because I'm like, I love this show. Like, I don't care what anybody says. This is the best show ever.
Oh my god. Okay. And then so we did recently. Victoria, no, not Victoria. Newman. Let's just call her that. The one that's like running for she was on Gen V. What do you think about her character and her giving her daughter compound V for her daughter to have those crazy powers? Which is insane.
You know what's crazy though? It's like now that you say it, I realized that she's from Gen V. Like I just thought she was a brand new character, but every time she would do something, I'm like, she looks so familiar. Like, what has she been on? But it's fucking Gen V.
Did you like? I think that I love her powers of just popping people's head off, and you can't kill.
I do. Bitch. I also like that she even did that thing with Starlight, where she's like, "I'm not gonna pop your head off, but I am gonna make your nose bleed." So you could really get the gist of what I'm saying right now. And I kind of like the power that has. Like, I don't know. So with that being said, I do enjoy her powers. I would probably choose her powers over it. That's another question. What if you could have the powers of anybody on The Boys? Whose powers would you have? That's the possibility.
So Kamiko is basically kind of like a Deadpool. She can regenerate, so anything happens to her, you cut her fucking hand off, it's growing back. You could slice that bitch in half. She's sewing back. So that's really cool, but it's like I don't want to live forever. I'm sorry, like this is ghetto. I don't like it, so I don't think I want to be Kamiko. A-Train, he's just super fast, and I don't really see that as a use. Even though, like, really, it's like he was here, and you can't see it, so he's like the Flash. I don't think that's cool, like at all. Starlight is. I'm sorry, I hate Starlight's powers.
Like, I do like when she steps her shit up.
I think that Queen Maeve that
Queen Maeve is like Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that's cool. Homelander, he gets old. I think it has to be Newman. Because I just want to like pop a bitch's head from across the room. No one
Maybe I would, but when you mention the Kamiko thing, I do like the idea of being able to grow limbs. It's like you can kind of help your friends and family if it ever came down to it. Because it's like, here's the kidney.
Exactly. Like you can just regenerate just like that.
It'll grow back. It's
fine. And just like that.
And then you could just call Celine. No, I'm gonna do
that. The way I would rip my shit back, bitch. I don't care.
Selena was like, okay, I'll stop.
She was not. That's the problem that I have with her. Okay, whose power would you have? You said the Kamiko's. Who is your least favorite, like power wise?
I would say the Deep.
Yeah. And is it because he's like an Aquaman, or is it because he's such a fucking creep?
I think it's because he's a creep. And I just didn't like that scene. It's stuck in my head where the girl
His
fingers his
gills.
gills. Like, ugh.
What did you think about like the orgasm
I did not like that.
fest? The
The
fuck
one
fest.
I thought that was really weird.
And Frenchie has not grown on you yet?
I do like Frenchie. I did not see that. Like, I don't know if it's just me, like I haven't been paying attention, but I did not see his character being gay. That's another thing.
I didn't see him like having a preference. I thought that he was just so sexual that he's kind of like Morph, but without powers to
Yeah, I
me.
mean, I could see it. Like once it happened, I was like, oh, okay, because they didn't really
It's not that he
show.
was European.
Yeah,
Because European
yeah.
guys are like they don't make a big
But
deal
then he
out of
got a
like.
fine ass man.
But
Golly.
that's what's fucking him up this season is that he killed this man's family, and
Yeah.
he's basically in love with him.
He apologized.
Aaron, he killed his.
It's like you fucked up, man. I would be like, maybe it's not me. It wasn't me. I'm sorry.
It was
I
a
just would
bitch.
not admit to that. I
It
would be
was
like,
haunting him.
it's Stormtrooper. What's her name?
So right, yes. Okay, and
That's
then
who it was.
do you? I don't know. I just think that Homelander. I don't feel sympathy for him. Even in this last episode, I agreed with what he did. I think that it was warranted, and I loved it. And I loved his crazy laugh. I love
Mhm.
an evil laugh.
I'm just like, it's just weird. It gets weird though, like with the whole like jerk
Breast
off
milk,
thing.
and then
Yeah.
jerking off, and then he's saving his pubes, and he's saving a picture of
Yeah.
Stormfront.
And then he's
But I
drinking
don't
breast
know.
milk. It's just
He
it's so
it's
many
something about him
things.
though that I like. I love Homelander. I don't know why. I think maybe I'm evil a little bit.
I think we talk about this. You're the villain. You said it.
Okay.
You always say this. Why
Say
is
it
it
when
different?
someone else
Not you
say it.
pretending to be Homelander right now. It's like you literally said this.
Well, so
I feel like I would also be the villain though, but I would. The only difference is you wouldn't find out till like season 23.
you're like a Newman. Like you'll be
Mm-hmm.
secretly like fucking
It's
everything
like
up, and
no,
no one
I'm a
knows
good
it's
guy,
you.
and then it's like the whole time I kill all the generations of your family, like each and every one.
Did you like Vault on Ice?
I thought it was cute, but I did like at first until everybody got sliced the fuck up. Then I was like, shit just gets so real, and yeah, it was up until that part where I was like, okay, I'm not having fun anymore. But one thing that I will say is I really enjoy what's the name of her character, Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
Love Ashley,
She's she's so scared to like leave
especially when she
Vault.
took off her wig. I was like, same. That's how I feel all the time.
The director dude is so funny. I mean, we saw a little bit of Ashley on Gen V, by the way. We
Mm,
saw the director on Gen
yes.
V. I want you to go back on YouTube and look into, at least for the last 4 episodes, look into those deep dive YouTube videos, either from like Screen Rant or New Rock Stars, and like you'll see so many funny things, whether it's like parodying some of Marvel shit or DC shit or
Yeah, because
calling
it's
back to Gen
it's a
V.
lot of them where I can say like, okay, I see what you're doing here. Like,
And like how this person would be in real life.
mhm. How did you feel about Emily Osment's brother just being there?
I was like, that's his Emily Osmond's brother.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said too. And then everybody
Who
was
knows
like,
that?
okay. And I'm like, well, damn, don't say
You
it like
sometimes just
that.
don't know what to do with certain people.
Yeah, because
Like
he has this face where it's like his head is like
you kind of just want to punch him.
this, and then his face is like this.
It's so true, and not in a shady way. Like
It's not like
his
his face is so tiny, but his
his
head, it's
features are
like you
all
would
in
think
one
that he would
area.
have a bigger face. Yeah. It's like his
Yeah.
eye, if you shoot and you aim for his eyebrows, you're taking off his whole face. It's just gonna be like a big hole.
But I'm the villain. But I'm the
But I
villain.
love what was that? The Sixth Sense?
Yeah, it was.
I don't
That's what
really
he was
remember
in.
that movie. I'm not even gonna lie like that,
I
guys.
didn't. Yeah, I'm not gonna glaze over that. Sorry. But did you? Okay, so now that you know who Homelander is, do you listen to Metro Boomin's superheroes and villains differently now? Because he used a clip of Homelander on his song. I forgot which song it was, but it's like a clip of the speech that Homelander made where he was
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm not like you guys. Like, you need me.
Yeah.
I'm better than you.
I was like,
It's
oh my
so
gosh.
cool.
But it's the fact that they root for him and they continue to root for him. One thing
And
I
I
will
root for
say,
him.
when it comes to Homelander's son,
Right. That's the last question I was going to ask because
I
that's
don't
what
like
we're
him.
trying to prevent. We're
I don't
trying to
like him.
prevent Ryan from becoming Homelander.
You
And
killed
it
your
can go
mom.
either way.
And I know it was by accident, but you still killed her. And he's gonna grow up feeling like a piece of shit.
You can already see it. Do you think that he's going to become evil, or do you think that he's going to be the one to take down Homelander? Because that's clearly where we're going.
I do think that he's gonna take down Homelander because I think they're gonna kind of make it like invincible. Because I haven't seen, while I haven't seen, I do know that that's like the whole premise. Because there were certain scenes where I'm like, this kind of looks like Invincible.
Because they're made from
Mm-hmm.
the same people, like Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg, Eric Kripke.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't know if Eric is involved in Invincible, but they kind of mirror each other in certain ways. And they
Do
do have
you
a cartoon version of the boys too.
do you hate Billy Butcher?
I think that question is a setup for me to say yes, but I actually don't. For some reason, I like him more than I like live action Wolverine.
That's a hot take.
Oi! I don't know why. I just really like him. I like him, but I want him to get better so he can fight Homelander and lose. Because him dying is just not my
Well,
gist
if he
right
keeps taking
now.
that what is that called?
Compound V.
Yes.
Well, that's what got him
I
fucked
did
up.
enjoy that fight though that he had with what was it, gunpowder?
What do you think about Black Noir being just replaced with another dude that like doesn't know what to do, like an actor?
I thought that made sense.
But
I was
now it's
like, it
like
makes
Black Noir
sense.
is talking, and
But I hated it because I hated how he lost his life too. It's like it was all sad and then the cartoon characters. I just did not like that. And that's what it just like it's so many things that make me dislike Homelander even more because I'm like, you're killing people who could actually help you in certain like in some kind of
he
way.
didn't want to kill him. He didn't want. He loved Black Noir, but Black Noir knew what was going on. He knew that he was his dad, and in a way, it was poetic because it was like, who else would kill? I wouldn't want anyone else to kill Black Noir.
Yeah, I guess I didn't like it.
I didn't
Someone
like
at
it. I would like him
Homelander
to be bad.
has to die.
He
That's
has
just
to.
what it
He's
is.
evil, but I also think that like he's self aware because he went and he got Sister Sage because I think that everyone thinks that okay, obviously he's supposed to be a parody of Donald Trump,
Mm.
but at the same time not because Homelander, while he's egotistical and terrible and all these things, he if you notice something about him, even the people that follow him, he's like, these people are just yes men. And actually, I don't
Mm-hmm.
hate, like, I don't feel this way about people, but I can use you to carry out what I'm doing. So he's not actually like this racist, like piece of shit person. He knows that he can raise and have these
Mm-hmm.
followers do his bidding. And that's what makes him works.
The only thing is though, he sided with Storm Shadow or whatever her name
So from
is.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Stormfront. And it's like that's the
He
way I
dated
kind of
her.
looked at it. Yeah, he dated her. And it's like you were romantically interested in this racist ass bitch. And that's what
And then
was
the way she
so
died.
Yeah, she committed suicide.
But like even before, like that whole burning
Oh,
out
that
thing.
burning. Oh, I love
So
that. I love that. Giving that bitch nubs. I'm like, that's exactly what she needed.
I wanted her to like leave after that though. Like they could have kept it. Like when I saw her back on like the premiere, I was just like,
I actually wanted it. I wanted her to, because she was just such a terrible person. I wanted her to go away. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say, but before she went away, I wanted her to like really learn something and maybe grow from it. And I thought that's what was gonna happen. I thought maybe this was gonna be an arc for her, especially
mhm.
because it seemed like she was starting to really pay attention to how Homelander was treating her. And I thought like maybe she was gonna like wake the fuck up and be like, you know what? Maybe I do
No,
need to
that bitch
stop
is
being racist.
rotten to the core.
But
She's
she
been
died that way. She was like,
racist
I'm
since
not
the
doing
beginning.
that.
And that's what I love about the boys is because it's like some people are just evil and they
Mm-hmm.
are the way that they are. They cannot be swayed. They have nothing. They're just disgusting. They were raised that way. They feel that way for real, because she stood on it. And like that's how she was. I fucking hated Stormfront with all of my heart. And
I
then I
did
hated
too.
that racist dude that A Train got the heart from
Mm-hmm.
and fucked up his brother basically. That's why I'm so ready for this A Train redemption arc. I hope that he does join the boys. I hope that Huey did forgive him. I do hear that they might go with the comic book story, which is Huey's dad is going to become like a zombie, like a soup zombie, because he got the compound B after he was
Mm-hmm.
already dead. So I hope that it doesn't go to like a ridiculous place, but at the same time, it's already ridiculous.
Yeah, I would actually like to see that though.
Yeah, you
But
like
it's
stuff like
sad
that.
because I did like Huey's dad.
You like Yuga more than you like who?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. Also Starlight, you did your big one. Shout out to you.
Oh, she was on baddies. Like she did her Jayla
She was
shit.
like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a
I would have just killed her. Like I don't give a fuck. Oh yeah, that's what the last question, the last question. What do you think about Mother's Milk? Because I know that a lot of people were just like, I don't know if this is the same actor. And I'm like, it's literally
I
him. It's him.
agree. I
It's him.
agree. I agree. I
It's
agree. I thought it was
him.
just me. And it was not fourth season, it was third season. It was
Oh,
specifically third season where I was
really?
like,
He changed for you
do my
during third
eyes
season?
deceive me? Like, that's not the same man. It was during the time
Guys.
where he was out of the boys and he was like doing all that shit, and his daughter was like, she kept
Well,
making
okay, he has
faces.
OCD. Mm-hmm.
I was like, no, he has a brother. Cause that did not look like him. And then when season three, when season four
Or
came, it's like he was back. And I'm like, okay, what
that's what's
happened?
insane is that no one said that about season three. They said it about season four because he lost a lot of weight, which is like, please don't comment on that because did we learn nothing from Chadwick? Just Google it. And then two, he doesn't have the beard.
I
So
think
he
it's
just looks
because
completely different without a beard.
not to me though. He looks the same as season one and season two. I think what happened was season one and season two, he was probably skinny. And
Yeah.
then season three, he probably gained a little bit more weight. So that's what it was for me because I'm like, this guy looks a little bit fuller in the face. It was different. Like, don't get me wrong, he still looked great, but it was
Yeah, that's not
just,
in question.
yeah,
People thought that it was literally another actor because he lost weight
I agree. Well,
for
no,
season four.
him coming back, I'm just like, it just looks like he lost a little bit of weight, or he ate like a public salad.
You get so skinny when you eat a
It's
certain
like when
public
you eat a
salad.
public salad, especially if you have, I don't make the rules. If you have like some kind of cucumber on it, it's like it just you're 1 pound all of a
Sucks you
sudden.
right
Yeah,
in, babes. All right. Well, I'm so happy that you are caught up. I hope that you like this show. Do you like Gen V better or do you like the boys better?
the boys. I'll say
Oh,
that.
damn.
Yeah.
am. I did
Yeah,
not expect for
I'll
you to
say that
change.
I have changed because The Boys is a little bit more
It's grown.
grown up. And I do like that they address like real issues. Don't get me wrong, Gen V does too. Um,
Well, yeah, but there, you know,
yeah,
it's set with a little bit younger, crowd. It's about college. It's a spinoff, so they did their big one.
they did.
But I'm saying with The Boys, you get like the hype around it.
Oh, absolutely. Now I do, for sure. For sure. The only thing is like there are certain moments where it's like, okay, y'all talk too much. Like, shut up. And then it's like you fast forward a little bit and you understand, you get the gist of everything. But it's like sometimes they drag, boy. Sometimes
Yeah,
they drag it. And it's
I
like,
understand.
especially when you want to see a certain scene. For me, this most recent episode, I'm like, I want to see Starlight. I
Mm-hmm.
want to see what's going on with Homelander. I want to see what's
Mm-hmm.
going on with Billy Butcher.
And if Ryan is gonna meet up with
Stop showing me
him,
all this other shit that I don't care about. Especially A Train sometimes. I'm like, I don't want to see that right now.
well, they're building an A Train redemption arc allegedly, so
I do like
they have
that
to show
Irv from
more
the
of him.
game is like on here.
Oh my god, that's it. I was like, where is this man from?
It's literally Irv from the game. And he literally plays the same character in everything.
Every
But it
time
makes so much sense. Like every
because
time I see him, I'm like, it's necessary.
I know exactly what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it, and
Yeah.
it's gonna
It's
be
like you're
great.
gonna find somebody that's black on the set, and you're gonna be like,
Listen, sometimes when you play a role, you play a role.
and that's just what it is. And they hire him because he's the best in the business.
Okay, y'all, let us know who is your fave soup and soup power, and also who's your least fave and least fave soup power. We will absolutely be talking about The Boys. I might chime in with a bit of House of the Dragon. We'll be talking about power, and then come back on Saturday because you know damn well that we're gonna have to talk more
We
about what's
will.
going on in the Bravo
And
world.
next Tuesday, I'll be talking about Teen Mom because it's like I totally
Oh,
forgot until
yeah,
just now.
but
But
yeah.
anyway, because yeah, I'll what I'll do is I'll add this last episode and I'll add the new one and I'll put them together and just give you guys a recap of what's going on. Because when I
Well,
say Teen
actually,
Mom
do you
is
want?
back,
No, you know what, guys? He's gonna be on Bravo I'm Black, where we'll discuss Teen Mom.
oh well, no, because the new episode will come on tonight. So that's another thing that I just realized.
Well, I don't have to have the episode out until Thursday.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, he's been uninvited from Bravo I'm Black.
I just had tacos coming and I did not expect that. This was
Bye,
so
y'all.